What's up everybody, Super Dorks fan here for another car review. This is of course the 2016 Shelby GT350. Huge thanks to Nelson first for his service to our country and also for allowing me to review his awesome Shelby here for you guys today. So about the Shelby GT350, well, many of you have probably already seen tons of reviews of this car and you know how epic it is. I personally love it, of course, being a huge Mustang fan myself already, and the Shelby just takes it up a whole nother level, and some people say it even handles less like a Mustang and more like a supercar, so I'll be really excited to see how it handles and drives. But I mean, as far as the looks go, I love how they actually lowered the nose a little bit over a standard Mustang, and so it just looks a lot more aggressive, especially in person. And there's a lot of cool little details, you know, with the fender vents here with the GT350 badge and the hood vent there, and the creases that you get in the Shelby hood are also really cool there. And you know, all the little, you know, touches and stuff. Now this one is just the standard model. It's not the tech package or the track package, but you still get a really nice front lip there, and in the back there you have that really cool rear diffuser and the quad exhaust pipes, and just from every angle I still think it looks amazing. It has such a presence. Right, for the interior of the Shelby GT350 here, well, it's awesome even here in the base model. Anyway, first things first, sitting down in these seats, these are some epic Recaro seats here that you get with the track pack and the base GT350, and man, they are really good at hugging you tight. They're comfortable though, honestly. They're really nice comfortable seats. You do have a very high thigh bolster here though that could make it a little hard to get in and out, especially in tight spaces and stuff like that. But man, I mean, they are spectacular seats. I mean, I'm a pretty small guy and they still hug me pretty good, but I feel like they're wide enough they could fit all body types. Next is the steering wheel in the GT350, which is really nice. It's you know, part of it has this mico suede kind of material that feels really cool, and you know, it's very similar to the standard Mustang wheel, except it has a flat bottom. You have this nice little stripe here on the top, and it is a little bit more aggressive feeling, but it feels really nice. Still a really great 9.3 grip, good little 10.2 notches here, and like I said, really nice flat bottom. You have a few extra buttons here now for the driving modes and stuff that have been relocated from the center over to the wheel here. Overall though, it's just a really great wheel. Next is the gauges in the GT350, which are similar to the other Mustangs, except these ones, the numbers go a lot higher. So you have a red line now of, well, the tachometer goes up to 9,000. The red line is 8250, but so that's more exciting to look at. And on the right hand side, you got a speedometer that goes up to 200. In the middle there, you have all the same great digital gauges you get in the other Mustangs, but this, in the Shelby, you actually get a digital speedometer as well, which is nice to have. And in addition to all the other great gauges and readouts that you get here in the new Mustangs, it's really cool. And so overall, really nice gauges. Coming over to the center of the dashboard here, it's really nice now. You know, the Shelbys have a similar gauge pack to the Performance Package GTs with oil pressure and oil temp, and so good to have those right there. And then coming down here, you know, this, like I said, is the base model, so you have the standard radio you get out of any other base Mustang, and it's fine, you know, because the job done, has Bluetooth audio streaming, all that kind of stuff. Does not have satellite radio, unfortunately, but still, you know, good enough radio. And in this car, you're not going to be using the radio anyway because it sounds so good, so who really cares? And then, you know, you have coming down, you have your climate controls, which is, you know, the manual controls, still good though. And you know, I love, you know, all the materials and everything are still just as nice as the other Mustangs with these very nice metal knobs, and so nice there. And then coming down, you have a nice red engine start button and then launch control button over here. And so yeah, I mean, you know, just the basics really, but it's still very nice inside here. It's not bare bones by any means. The 6-speed manual in the Shelby is also really nice. It's the Tremec 3160, I believe, so it's a lot heavier and notchier than a standard Mustang GT, but it feels really great actually, and a lot of people prefer this over the transmission in the standard Mustang GT, so I'll be really interested to see how that feels, but definitely has a good feel to it here in the parking lot. as far as storage space in a Shelby, not like most people are probably going to care, but it's the same as any other Mustang. You got a nice size map pocket here in the doors. In the center here, you have a nice little space to put a phone or small little knickknacks like the key. And then in the back here, you have 2 cup holders, which are a good size. You have a center armrest, which is very nice and softly padded, and you open that up, and you have a good amount of storage space in there, in addition to a power outlet and a USB jack, and you know, all the stuff you need. And honestly, I think for a sporty car, it actually has a good amount of storage space. And you know, it's nice that it has back seats, because the R version doesn't even have them. It's, you know, pretty tight unless, you know, you're having very small children in the back. I wouldn't use it on a regular basis or anything like that, but it gets the job done in a pinch. Trunk space in the Shelby, again, same as all the other Mustangs. Good size trunk. You can fit, you know, 2 full-size suitcases in there easily, you know, and it's actually a pretty nice and usable trunk. And those rear seats do still fold down like in the other Mustangs, I believe. So you know, if you do need more space, it's actually pretty versatile. Folding those seats down, you can fit all kinds of long stuff. And so yeah, overall pretty good trunk. All right, so start up and go for a drive. Shelby has a very cool Shelby specific key, but very similar to the other Mustangs anyway. Just put your foot on the clutch, hit the engine start button, and it roars to life. All right, so setting off in the Shelby GT350. I'm already giddy just hearing that exhaust. I put it into the sport mode so that it's louder than the standard mode, and even just at low RPMs, it sounds so glorious. Other things you notice. Oh man, I don't even want to talk in this video. Just want to listen to that. Other things though, you do notice the clutch is actually even lighter than my GT and way lighter than the EcoBoost, which is pretty remarkable considering this is the fastest one they make currently. So the clutch keeps getting lighter and lighter. Shifter is also very easy to use actually, and so you know, with the hill start assist and everything, this is a very easy car to drive manual in. So that's good. Other things to note: visibility I think is actually maybe slightly better than a standard Mustang, because everything sits a little bit lower in the front there. You still have a little bit of a hood to look out over, but nothing bad at all. And you know, visibility is great otherwise, like every other Mustang. Good view out of the sides here, good view out of the back, and overall very easy car to drive. Alrighty, so first let's turn onto the straight road here and see how it does. Here we go. Gotta slow it down, this thing's fast. So, that was fun. 8250 RPM red line is magical. So, we have 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque from this glorious 5.2 liter Voodoo engine that is flat plane crank and is amazing. It's so crazy when you're starting to go through it. I mean, there's power instantly, really, especially in first gear there, but it's crazy, you know, just being in second gear and how fast you're already going. And the power band, the way it comes on, it's very smooth, but then you get this kick in the pants at like $6 grand, and it makes it so much more exciting. It's like VTEC times 10. It's just awesome. And so, it's a real rush. So anyway, composing myself here, just cruising down a normal road. It's very soft and comfortable here now. So this is the non-Magna Ride one. So, you know, just standard suspension, but it feels great. It feels honestly very similar to the GT so far. Now these roads are pretty smooth. We'll have to see once things get a little more bumpy. But overall, it's amazing how comfortable it actually feels. You know, this exhaust sounds really good in other people's videos, but in person, oh man, with these windows down, it's like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's just the best. And you know, it's funny, you know, some people have said that this actually feels slower than a regular GT in the lower RPMs, because all that power comes on in the higher RPM bands and the torque doesn't come on until the higher RPM bands. But I stomp on it at 2200 RPMs and it still scoots. I mean, it's not slow by any means, and so you don't have to, you know, constantly be driving around at 8,000 RPMs for it to feel peppy. This thing is just a giggle factory for me. And I haven't even got around a corner yet, so let's go on some corners here and see how this thing actually does. You get another little kick there, right around, I think 3,000 RPMs really. 3 to 4 is also a nice little kick there. But anyway, on some back roads now. one thing that you notice immediately is the front end feels so much lighter than the GT, and honestly feels lighter than the EcoBoost even does. I'm not sure how they pulled that off with a larger V8 engine, aside from the lower center of gravity, I suppose, but it's crazy how sharp and pointed the front end feels. But yeah, I mean, this car has such a broad power band. I'm really surprised. I thought it would be dead down low, but I'm just, you know, tooling around here at 2,000 RPMs, and it still feels punchy, and you can still have fun, and it still sounds good too. But the higher the RPMs go, the more glorious that exhaust sounds. All right, we're on some tighter stuff here now. These Brembos feel fantastic. They're really grippy right at the top of the pedal there, and give you so much confidence. You don't even approach the limits on the street with those. But yeah, this suspension, I am thoroughly impressed. I mean, you know, I've driven the Performance Pack GT, and this blows that out of the water, in my opinion. There's like no comparison. Woohoo! This thing is a rush! Holy crap! And it's so planted too. I mean, we have 295 wide tires in the front and 305 in the back here on the base GT350, but I mean, it is not coming unstuck. It's doing a pretty good job. And another acceleration here. That's just first and barely into second. That's how, I mean, the gears are actually fairly tall, but it still feels so punchy at any RPM. Holy crap. Steering weight in the standard mode is really perfect, honestly, and you can make it heavier if you want, but yeah, even at like 1,500 RPMs, this thing still, you know, has some power there. So this motor is still plenty torquey in the lower RPMs, and I think this would still be perfectly fine for daily driving. Oh my gosh, I want to daily drive one of these now. Oh man. The thrust this thing has, that was only 4,500 RPMs in third gear, and it just pulls like crazy. I'm sorry guys, this is just gonna be one of those reviews where all I'm doing is laughing like an idiot and just being really, really giddy, and I apologize. But if you want all the technical information, you can go watch another video. This is just to show you how fun this thing is. I've only been driving this thing for 10 minutes and I already want to own one. And you know, my one big thing with this car is I was like, you know, especially for 2017 now, it's about 60 grand if you want the convenience package. If you want a base one, it's 56. This one, if you can find one of these base GT350s, is still only at like 49 and change if you can get it at MSRP. And but I mean, it's a phenomenal bargain if you can, you know, put up with not having heated and cooled seats and the bigger screen and stuff, and you just want an amazing driver's car. I don't know why you need MagnaRide. I don't know. I mean, the track pack might be good for those coolers that have been problematic on the cars that don't have them, but I don't even care. This thing, you don't even have to like push it to have a ton of fun, and that's the really great thing, is whenever you don't have to, you know, be redlining it to have fun, it's great. Just in any gear you can have a blast. But my big question going into this was, you know, 55, 60 grand, it's almost double the price of a base GT, you know, standard Mustang GT. And it's like, is this double the fun of a standard Mustang GT? Maybe not if you're, you know, just cruising at normal speeds. I mean, the sound alone might be worth the extra money. But I think once you push it, the second you turn onto a back road in one of these things, yes, it's double the fun. It's definitely worth double the money for a regular Mustang. Easy to rev match the downshifts too. This 6-speed Tremec is really nice. I know a lot of people don't like the MT82 and the regular GT, and so this will fix all those concerns. And it's really fun, you know. So that was the second gear going around a corner there, and I was trying to get it bent out of shape a little bit, and it'll do it just a tad. But then you got the traction control and stuff. I have it fully on because it's not my car. I'm on the streets, but it still lets you have fun. It gives you a little bit of slip there, and then it cuts in and, you know, safely brings you back, but it doesn't kill all the fun. And so the traction control system is really well done in this car too. And so, yeah, this is just amazing. Second gear. This thing. You know, whenever bought my GT, I was like, I don't need it. I don't need the Shelby. It's all right. It's double the price. I don't need it. I need it. I freaking need it. This thing is just too magical to not have. And I think it's not just Mustang fans, it's anyone. I mean, this thing handles like a dream. I mean, on those few little back roads I was on, didn't even get close to the limits, but I can just tell you how fun it is and how exciting it is to drive. And this power band, it's not just that it's a high red line, it's the high red line along with the kick that you get. And you get these multiple levels of like, almost like a boost feeling. Here we go. I mean, the levels of power that come on, it's just, it's amazing. It is mind-blowingly good. Out on the highway here, it still just drive very nice. I can kind of see the lack of power a little bit. I'm in 5th gear here, and if I floor it, it still scoots pretty quickly, but if I was in 6th, I could see how it could be a little bit dead. But who cares? Well, I mean, just downshift, that's the glory. You just hear more and more of the sound. Why wouldn't you want to downshift? Oh man. Oh my gosh. This is so amazing. Perfect 10 out of 10. A mind-blowingly amazing car. 100% recommend. I want one. What other really high praise can I give? Maybe the most fun car I've ever reviewed. That's how wowed I am. Like, I unfortunately don't have like the entire day with this, but I'm pretty sure I would run out of gas pretty quickly. That's one other stupid thing for anyone that cares. You shouldn't care, but the owner has been averaging about 15 miles per gallon in this. Worth every penny. Yeah, I can't speak high enough about this car. It's just, Ford just blew it out of the park at any price, and the fact that this is only, even for the 2017, 60 grand, or if you can get one of these, less than $50,000, phenomenal. And by the way, I want to also mention, today's a very hot day, and all that driving, you know, people were worried about limp mode and stuff with these. No limp mode whatsoever. For those that, you know, think you need all the additional packages, I wouldn't say so. I think the base one is already mind-blowing enough, and unless you're, you know, considering doing some serious track time, I think this is going to be plenty for the streets. So anyway, huge thanks once again to Nelson for allowing me to review his awesome GT350 here for you guys today. I'm still just in awe. It's like I'm on this high. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the GT350, and I'll see you next time. Take care.